Thank you for joining me again today. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Psychic Kathleen. Continuing along again today with the client's question, their issue, let's say, the reading, that cards that were drawn, and how I interpreted those cards in the context of the client, station of life that they're in, their question, and just the pattern of the reading. Keeping in mind that all of these readings that I discuss are 1 hour readings, and so we do cover quite a number of topics. Unless the topic is in depth and has a number of different aspects to it and complications, in which case it could possibly take up the whole hour. But normally we're looking at 2 major areas, and most often that is work and love. The client that came to see me today is a woman in her early 30s, unmarried, no children, has never been married. She's a professional and she is working on another graduate degree. Very intelligent, lovely young woman, very familiar with the process. She has been to see tarot readers in the past, and so there was nothing about our time together which surprised her or was unexpected. Her first question was about her career. She is a health professional who is presently employed by the government and is working on an MBA, which is a master's degree in business. And she's getting tired of working for the government. It's a very boxy job for her. She feels restricted in the job. There was a reorganization earlier this year which had left her feeling unimpressed. So I said to her what needed her acceptance was the tower. And the tower is like twin towers. So I said something happened at work which really kind of blew things up for you. This would be like, a twin tower experience. And she said, yes, that was that reorg that happened earlier this year. And she said since that's happened, she is doing more work and not being fairly remunerated for the additional responsibilities that she's taken on. And even her supervisors and higher ups have agreed that she is working at a higher level than she's recognized for. And I said to her, well, what needs your release has come up the Page of Cups, which is the youngest in the court cards, the youngest character in the court cards, and is often an innocent, sweet child. And I said, perhaps you're being naive, you really want to be of service, maybe you're working a little bit too hard, and it's time to take a step back. I said to her, I think the reading so far is saying that something you might want to consider is stepping away, resigning from this position, and taking on a job which is not as demanding. Complete your degree, really focus on, finding another job elsewhere. It's hard to do when you're working, such a demanding job. The Strength card had come up in the very beginning of her reading, saying this is what she needs to fix in order to improve her chances of getting a better job. She's been looking at work almost all over the world, but never is considered for the position. So she said to me, I don't know what I need to do differently to ramp my chances up of getting a better job. So the Strength card, I said, really tells us it's something physical that you're not offering. So I said, clearly your background is good, your resume is probably just fine, but there's something physically that you're not providing, and you might want to find out what your competition is providing. And consult with a marketing consultant or an image consultant, or somebody that actually markets you physically in some way, that'll ramp your chances of at least getting more attention. And she thought that was good advice, and she would definitely take that under advisement. I said to her what needs healing had come up the Three of Swords, which is a card of mourning. And I said, have you lost any significant loved ones in the last couple of years? And she said yes. She had lost an aunt who she'd been very close to, and it was her mother's sister, and her mother had been mourning the loss of her sister as well. She lost both grandparents 18 months ago, and she also had a relationship end badly 2 years ago. So she indeed had been mourning a number of losses. And I said, just know that this has affected your whole perspective, and how you feel about everything is being tainted by that. So you do need to work through these morning issues. And we talked about morning pages, which is getting up in the morning and just writing out a couple of pages, everything on your mind, just purging or clearing or detoxing mentally every morning. And that can be very helpful to do, especially if we're going through mourning in a very difficult emotional period. The outcome, however, was the Wheel of Fortune, which suggests that, the opportunity that hasn't come her way, there is one in the future for her, which this is a spring card. So in the spring, indeed, there will be an opportunity presented to her. And no doubt this is why she's not getting anything right now, and likely won't. So Lady Fortuna does have her hand in her destiny wheel, and things will shift and get a lot more beneficial, exciting, interesting come spring. And New York kept popping into my head. I said, I don't know what's going on with New York, but there's 2 cities in the world that keep popping into my head for you. One is London, England, and the other is New York City in the States. So keep your eyes open for those 2 places. She wanted just to ask briefly about this relationship that had ended a couple of years ago. And one of her questions was, is he happy? And we talked that out. I mean, when we have a split, we are often having mixed feelings about whether we want that person, whether we want to hear that person is happy or not. And indeed, the reading had indicated he was happy. I was using a deck called the Transparent Tarot, which is a very interesting deck. It's done on transparencies, and you actually build your card, putting one card on top of the other. And so I drew 1, 2, 3, 4 cards to answer the question whether he was happy or not. And the first card was the 7 of Cups, which means up until now he hasn't been able to decide what exactly it's going to take to make him happy. And then the Death card comes up, which means he was busy sorting that out, clearly letting go of things that he thought were possibly going to make him happy. And then the High Priestess comes up, which means he was learning. You can see there's kind of a book there. And the outcome is the Sun. So yes, he was happy. And that was hard for her to hear, but we talked about that, about what that meant. So thank you very much for joining me here again today. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and press the subscribe button and notification bell beside it so you'll get notifications in your email of new videos being uploaded. I look forward to hearing and meeting you here again soon in the future. Thank you for being here with me again today. Bye for now.